Alrighty guys, what is going on everybody? Happy Saturday to everybody. Hope y'all are having an amazing day so far. Glad to have everybody here. I want to go ahead and give a big thank you to Finn for right off the bat becoming a member for Category 1 for a month. Thank you so much, Finn. Greatly appreciate it. Say, what's up, chat? Birthday man here. It was yesterday. Popping in to say hi. What's up, Finn? Hope you're doing good. Like I said, glad to have you here. And thank you so much for becoming a member here on the channel. But what's up, everybody? Hope everyone is doing good. Like I said, happy Saturday to everybody. So we're here with the latest information on the Tropics. We'll be going over everything we went over yesterday, just on the new update table here, regardless of everything. Let's go and see who's here before we go ahead and get on into it. We have Kid Storm coverage. We have Andy. We have DJ, the Amber Life. We have Monica. Let's see, we have Zero. We have Pilot. We have Haley. Let's see here. Got Marvin. See GD. What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's doing good. Like I said, glad to have y'all here. So the latest information coming in from the Tropics here. Hurricane Hilary is still a hurricane, obviously. Right now, sustained winds of 115 miles per hour. So, you know, constant winds here of 115. With maximum wind gusts, so winds getting up to 155 is, you know, kind of what's going on right now. Storm is still tracking to the north-northwest. This is the latest update here we have as of an hour ago, actually. So, relatively fresh update here coming through. As you can actually see here, once again, movements north-northwest here. Let me go ahead and double check and see exactly how fast northwest this thing is going up here. Let's see, it's moving up to the north-northwest at 16 miles per hour. So it's you know, not moving too fast. It's not moving too slow either, but tracking its way up. This thing is expected to be a Category 2. Right now it's Cat 3. It's supposed to be downgraded into a Category 2 here, basically by later on this evening, essentially. You can kind of see right here for around 8 o'clock or so. It is expected to, you know, be downgraded from a Cat 3 into a Cat 2 with a sustained of 105, max gust up to 125, as it's narrowing close to Baja California Peninsula here. So we'll need to look out for that. Let's see here. Monica with a $5 super chat. Very sweet of you, Monica. Thank you so much. Very, very sweet. Thank you, Monica. Big shout out goes to you. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Monica. But like I said, it continues up to the northwest here. This thing is set to go right over that small island. It seems like that track has slightly shifted more to the east, I've noticed. We obviously have like El Morro here. We have La Colorada. Obviously, for whatever island name this is, I'm not too familiar with this area here, but for whatever island name this is, the track is going right over you. Hurricane Center has the center of the storm going right up next to you, so that's going to be pretty much a you know, pretty good concern for them, as at the point there will be sustained winds of 80 miles an hour with wind gusts up to 100. Now, like I said, this could actually play out a little bit better than what we first thought. If this thing continues trending to the east here, guys, if this thing continues to want to go eastward, this could actually be good in the sense that, you know, honestly, it could run down those winds by the time it reaches Southern California, because you can actually see here, Let me actually go ahead and shut down this pin real quickly. Hold on, y'all. But what I was going to say here is that what's going to happen is that if this thing continues tracking east, it's going to be running into more of land here, which obviously is going to be bringing a little bit of better possibilities here overall. Considering, like I said, it's going to run out more of those winds and everything like that. So we'll definitely need to be watching out for that. Let's see here. See, Monica says, no problem, Andy. Love you guys. Oh, you too, Monica. Thank you so much. Very, very sweet of you. Let's see here. Is it going to move east in the U.S.? No, it's just going to go straight up north. It actually is going to bring a lot of rain for, obviously, California and Nevada. It will eventually bring in a lot of precipitation, too, for possibly the upper northwest, as we do have ourselves a flooding threat now across Idaho, actually, in that decent flooding threat out there, too. Can I explain why it's strengthened to a Category 4 now? It's weakening. So the previous environment that the storm was in was a lot suitable, really warm waters, essentially. Really, really warm waters, as well as a lot of moisture. And this storm is starting to run into a little bit of problems with moisture, as well as essentially running in the cooler waters. It is getting a little bit more cooler. The waters underneath is that. Let's see here. But yeah, so that's why it's starting to weaken. Also, it's getting closer to land here. Obviously some of those bands are starting to slow down over land, which can destabilize the hurricane a little bit. Which, like I said, this thing from now on is expected to weaken. It's not expected to strengthen at all anymore, which is good. But like I said, this storm is just still massive. I mean, there is a lot of precipitation on this. I'm gonna go ahead and switch you guys over here to the satellite view. I mean, look at this thing. It's crazy. So there's the eye, and in the latest frames, the eye kind of dissipates here. You can kind of see some drier air pulling in from the west. You can see that big old gap there of not much of anything. But just look how much moisture there is with this storm. I mean, regardless, we're already starting to see some of that outer bands moving its way up into California right now, in which we actually do have already a bit of rain starting to pull up. You can see here's the radar view up in Southern California. See a lot of that rain already starting to pull up here. So that's some of the early signs that, obviously California's going to be getting impacted pretty good out there. So we'll have to watch out for this. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and hop you guys over here to the latest information here regarding the flooding potential. So they actually made that high risk bigger compared to what they had for it yesterday. It is actually a lot bigger now. Obviously, it still includes, like Death Valley, areas mostly east of San Diego and areas mostly east here of Los Angeles. I actually have a better way of viewing this here. Let me go ahead and go to, we're going to turn off these cones for a second. Turn off the cone for a minute. There you go. You guys can see the risk areas. So you can kind of see, obviously, for San Diego, we have that flooding threat level 3 out of 4. Same thing for, Los Angeles. Still, it's a pretty big flooding threat. Obviously, they have got to be looking out for this here. And obviously to the east here, mostly to the east out there for areas like Riverside, San Bernardino, however you say that, Fontana, Rancho, Cucamonga, yeah, those regions. Y'all are inside this heavy flooding threat. Like I said, the worst risk that we have out there for flooding is existing out there. Victorville now included, Barstow, Baker, just a big streak here, all the way from, a lot of Southern California included with this. So they're in that pink region. That is like the maximum flooding threat we can issue, which that's a pretty big deal. We definitely need to be looking out there for this because, like I said, that's a good shot for some heavy flooding. That's for sure. So just make sure you guys are watching out for that. And whenever it comes out to the amount of precipitation that's forecasted. So here's the latest graphic here regarding how much rainfall we are expecting. You can actually see here. So we are expecting a decent amount of rainfall across these regions here throughout Southern California as well as portions here of Southern Nevada. We are talking about 2 to 4 inches of rainfall being possible for most of these dark green areas here, or actually all of those dark green areas here. And once we move our way into the yellow here, you can notice how we're starting to see maybe up to 4 to 6 inches. And you can see there's a lot of areas that's actually included here in that region there for 4 to 6, which is, definitely, starting to get up there pretty good here. But yeah, so that is essentially, essentially what we are looking at there. And of course, you can see we have some patched areas here of, 6 to 10 inches being possible. Let's go ahead and see here. Mud and Rockets, thank you so much, dude, for the $5 super chat. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. Saying what kind of flooding, let's see what it could be expected for Let's see, for thermal California surrounding the Salton Sea, since it's 226 below sea level, should Slab City evacuate. Let me pull up that region real quickly. Yeah, so since it's below, let's see here. Is this region? Oh yeah, okay, so you're kind of in that that level 3 flooding threat. So yeah, you are expected to get a lot of, yeah, there's that sea you're talking about. We are expecting to get a lot of flooding out there. I would personally maybe go up to higher elevation if you can. If you have a friend's house that's higher up, I would ultimately, I would suggest you doing that, because like I said, these low-lying spots are going to become really flooded with all the amount of rainfall that we are expecting. So for your safety, I would recommend to go up higher, considering that if that's correct that you say 226 below sea level. Yeah, I would definitely recommend it, because like I said, all that water is going to be falling and it's going to be rushing down into that that little depression that you're living in, which could be a could be a possibility. Be kind says, thanks again for keeping us informed. You're very welcome. No problem. But yeah, so once again, Mud and Rockets, thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. But we're going to go ahead and hop on back here, y'all, to the precipitation here. So like I was saying here, we have ourselves a couple areas here inside the orange that we are expecting potentially 6 to 10 inches of rainfall here. So we're going to have to watch out for that. They did, you can see every once in a while, compared to yesterday's outlook and then now this outlook, they have a couple areas here that's in the red for 10 to 15 inches. I think that's more a little extreme. I think mostly at the absolute worst, it could be localized to 6 to 10 inches of rainfall. That seems to be like the big possibility there overall. So we'll just need to watch out for this here. In terms of the tropical storm force wind probabilities, they have increased as expected here across portions of San Diego. We're kind of seeing nearly 60 to 70% chance. I mean, you're slightly below that or slightly above that, but you're close. You're getting closer to it, to around 60 to 70% chance of seeing tropical storm force winds. According to the latest cone here, which I'm going to go ahead and pull back up here for a minute. I'm not going to bring up the cone. I'm going to bring up the track here. Projected track, and you can see here that as it approaches obviously Southern California, it's still going to be a tropical storm. It's going to be a tropical storm. A lot of people think it's going to be a hurricane. It's not going to be a hurricane upon Southern California landfall. It will be a tropical storm at this point, with sustained winds here. Basically constant winds blowing here around 60 miles per hour, so constant winds blowing at 60 miles an hour with maximum wind gusts here up to 70 could be possible here. Let's go ahead and see here. TTA Aviation, thank you so much, dude, for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate it. Saying, how do I think that say Chula Vista will hit flooding / wind? We have a big tree and sandbags, but our living room is at sea level. Gotcha. Well, first of all, thank you for the 5. Very sweet of you. Let me go ahead and take a look at this here for you. Chula Vista, California. Okay, so yeah, you're right in that moderate flooding threat. So, like I said, there's a scale from 1 to 4 whenever it comes to flooding. Obviously, the higher the number, the more severe it is. You're in a level 3 flooding threat, which gives you at least a 40% chance of seeing flooding within 25 miles of your location. So, yeah, you're going to have to keep an eye out there for it whenever it comes to it. I would say to, obviously, if you're in a low-lying area, if you can, maybe go up a little higher. But like I said, obviously, if that's what you're at, that's what you got to stay with. Obviously, you're not in the biggest flooding threat, but you still are in a pretty good risk for flooding. So I would definitely keep an eye out there for it. As long as you have sandbags and stuff, that should be able to help with all that overall. In terms of the winds, though, like I said, yeah, the winds are expected to be gusting here, possibly up to 70 miles an hour. We could be seeing nearly low-end hurricane force wind gusts. When it's the wind gust, meaning it gets up to 70 here, which, to be classified as a hurricane, it needs to be a minimal of 75, which it's expected to gust up to 70. So, obviously, the winds are going to be pretty strong out there. That could be a bit of a problem for that tree you were talking about. So, overall, TTA Aviation, dude, please be safe out there. Like I said, regarding flooding and winds, it's going to be pretty brutal, it looks like. So just remain safe out there, and if there's anything we can do for you, let me know, okay? Once again, thank you so much for the 5. Greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. But yeah, so back over here, like I said, I want to go ahead and show you guys, let's see, back over here to the flood potential. The overall areas that we really need to be looking out here for flooding is across these territories. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and use a different pin color, is right in here. So you can see a lot of central. They've actually moved that flooding threat up north, as you guys can see. they moved it up north into portions of central Nevada, into central southern Nevada. We have ourselves southern California here as well. We need to really be looking out there for. And like I said, obviously, the biggest flooding threat here overall will be across these regions right in that pink area. Obviously, that's kind of the worst expectancy regarding flooding. Like I said, considering that some of those areas here will be getting into the range of maybe 6 to 10 inches upon rainfall, especially with those low-lying areas here. The rain is just going to wash into those low-lying areas out there. So we'll definitely need to be watching out for that. What is the chance of the storm moves slightly east or western? In the cone, the fact track models have very little history. So what I have been noticing here actually is it seems like the trend is moving slightly ever so more east. So since the day before yesterday, it was projected to go right over San Diego, which is still expected to get really close to San Diego. The track could still easily go over San Diego. But the day before yesterday, the track was going right over San Diego. Directly through the city. Now that's, since yesterday's update, it went a little bit more to the east, and now in this update, it went a little bit more to the east of that. So we're kind of seeing a slight trend moving slightly eastward. But regardless, still heavy impacts is still expected for all those areas. Essentially, we're already in the risk. Los Angeles still going to see some pretty possibly catastrophic flooding here. San Diego as well. Got to keep an eye out there for that. So, like I said, if this thing continues moving east, like I said, that's what I was mentioning in the beginning of the live stream. If this thing continues moving more to the east, that would actually be pretty good for California in some ways in terms of wind, because, the more closer, say if it was to go a little bit more closer into Baja California, it has all of this amount of land here to slow down those wind speeds before hitting Southern California, so that could actually weaken the winds if it continues pushing a little bit more to the east, which let's hope that that's the case, but for the sake of Baja California, let's not hope of that. Regardless, it's going to hit somewhere. So, like I said, if it does, scrape up more towards Baja California, it's going to slow down those winds a little bit because we do have some upper-level mountain ranges up there that will help, disturb that lower cyclone formation and overall break that, essentially break that structure that the hurricane has gathered over time. But yeah, so that is that, you guys. So overall, we just need to watch out for this here. And like you can actually see here, this thing does become post-tropical right over central Nevada. And according to the Hurricane Center, they do have themselves, like I said, maximum wind speeds, so constant winds here, getting up to around 35 miles per hour. So we're talking, so constant winds blowing around 35 with those wind gusts, maximum winds, a total, could get up to around 45 miles per hour. Obviously winds, yeah, it's going to be a little windy. Obviously it's going to be pretty windy. A little bit of minor damage could be possible to winds out in Nevada. But honestly, whenever it comes to flooding, that's where the big damage comes in. That's where that's why I'm a little concerned about it. How many inches would I say of flooding? It really depends on the terrain of your location. Obviously, if you're more in a depression, the surrounding rainfall is going to flow into your area that could, locally higher some areas than others. There's really no way of knowing, exactly how much for what specific area. But all we can tell you is that we are expecting, a good amount of rainfall. Between 2 and 4 inches of rainfall is expected. Obviously, it'll be above 2 and 4 inches, from the depressions, those lower parts of the terrain. So yeah, 2 to 4 inches. That is what we're expecting. But obviously, depending on the terrain and how high or how low it is, it really just depends. There's no way I can tell you for certain how much will be flooding in those low-lying areas. It just really depends on it. Let's see here. It's flat. Okay, then mostly if it's flat, you're expected to see maybe around 2 to 4 inches. It just depends on how flat, essentially. It really just depends on how flat. Essentially, we are seeing that. But anyways, that is that, guys. Once again, the biggest flooding threat is, once again, east of Los Angeles, east of San Diego. But once again, flooding threat for San Diego and those regions is still pretty daggone high. I'm going to go ahead and track you guys over here to the models. We're going to go ahead and take a look at that real quickly to show you guys what's going on with the latest models regarding the system. We're going to start off here with the GFS, the American GFS model here, regarding the amount of precipitation we are seeing here. So overall, we're going to do total precipitation accumulation. We work our way down here in time. You can just see this really big streak of rain come right up through, obviously, portions of California into central Nevada. So right in this region, we're seeing a big old big old streak. Obviously, it obviously goes down into Baja California, but for the states here, it's a really big streak right up through Southern California into basically Central and Southern Nevada. And like I said, we are expecting, those totals to possibly even get up above 5 inches, according to the GFS. This model's not necessarily perfect for all of that regarding, to be exact. Don't take this too seriously. Like I said, just take this with a grain of salt. And according to the European model here, you can actually see how it's maybe slightly more to the west here, obviously allowing for possibly more rain out there towards, Los Angeles. This model is actually showing Los Angeles get around, 2 to 3 inches, while San Diego only between 1 and 2. So it's a little different. You can see these models are a little bit, different from one another. In terms of NAM, obviously NAM is going crazy. Wouldn't really trust this model too much for essentially tracking precipitation, but obviously it does have some areas getting up to like 7 inches or so. Obviously NAM Nest even more crazy, showing up to 19 inches in some areas. I don't think that's possible personally, but we'll just see how that plays out there. I mean, obviously this model's a little extreme whenever it comes to it. But we'll just have to, just keep y'all informed and keep you guys updated overall on the situation. We're going to go ahead and switch y'all back over here to my main screen because I do want to go ahead and show you guys, once again, the latest cone here and the latest information that we got coming through here. In terms of the latest information, like I said, right now it is still a Category 3 hurricane with sustained winds here of 115 miles an hour. It's going to be downgraded to a Cat 2 by later on this afternoon and evening. Right now it's a Category 3 hurricane here with sustained winds of 115 miles an hour with wind gusts getting up to 155. So wind gusts are pretty strong still. Sustained winds are still very, very strong. 115 sustained here with maximum wind gusts up to 155. So that's something to definitely, watch out for. This thing's going to continue pushing to the northwest here. We're going to see right around 8 o'clock, this thing's going to be downgraded to a Cat 2 with sustained winds here of expected around 105 miles an hour with wind gusts up to 125. Then this thing's going to be starting to scrape right up against Baja California here for basically tomorrow morning, right here for Sunday. So we're going to have to watch out for Sunday here. You can actually see that for Sunday morning, early Sunday morning, right around 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern time. Maximum wind speeds here is, like I said, 80 miles an hour expected with gusts up to 100. And obviously, as this thing continues pushing up even more, it's going to start to slam up into northern Baja California. It's going to make landfall up here in kind of northern Baja California. I'm hoping that it slows down those winds a little bit more because, like I said, obviously if it crosses over land, it's going to drastically weaken. So that's what I'm thinking. If it continues to push over eastern Baja California, or if it goes more into the interior portions, it's going to allow it to weaken a bit. It's going to allow for those winds to weaken a bit before it reaches, obviously, Southern California here. So that will be good in some cases. And like I said, obviously for Southern California here, the current track is still expected to be somewhat of a powerful tropical storm here with sustained winds here of 60 miles an hour with maximum wind gusts here up to 70 being possible as it continues to push its way up here to the north. So we'll just definitely have to keep an eye out there for that. Continues to roll through. The biggest impacts will be felt here for Sunday evening for portions, obviously, of San Diego and Los Angeles. Obviously, this is around 8 o'clock. I believe this is 8 p.m. Eastern time. Regardless, I'll be live for this, guys, to cover this event here as it's ongoing, just in order to make sure you guys are staying aware with the situation and all that stuff overall. Then continues pushing up to the north here. Once again, it is expected to go post-tropical right over central Nevada here. Still with sustained winds here of around 35 miles per hour with wind gusts up to 45. So still some tropical storm force wind gusts could be possible across central southern Nevada. But once again, the main concern I'm worried about is obviously the rainfall. That is what we need to look out for sure. Let's go ahead and see here. How fast is the hurricane moving again? The slower, the more rain. So right now, according to the Hurricane Center, the storm is only moving, is moving north at around 16 miles per hour. Right now it's moving north-northwest at around 14 knots or 16 miles per hour at the moment. So that is how fast it's moving here overall. So obviously, like I said, it is going to continue, obviously to keep that speed for a while as it rolls its way up into California and all that stuff. So, mostly should keep around the same speed, but we'll see how that, you'll see how that reacts as it gets closer. But yeah, so I guess Lake Mead will be near full pool soon. Probably. Yeah, probably. Definitely we'll get a little bit more precipitation out there. Definitely could be pretty good overall. But anyways, once again, y'all, here's the latest information here. Like I said, I was going to show you guys this again. Here's the overall information from the rainfall perspective. This is the latest amounts here from the Weather Prediction Center. So basically all of these areas right in here is expected to see possibly up to 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. We're still expecting a pretty decent amount of rainfall to occur here. We are expecting, like I said, 4 to 6 inches across the areas here in the yellow. That's where a little bit more of that activity could be, obviously a little bit more severe. So that goes right mostly east of Los Angeles, east of San Diego for those other populated areas here. For example, that would be more for like, let's see, for places like, out there near Apple Valley, portions towards Baker, St. Bernardo. We have Moreno Valley, Riverside, Palm Springs, those regions out there. That's kind of right where we're seeing that. Let's go ahead and see here. Alaska with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Alaska, saying, hey, NW6, where do I think the storms will be for the 2% tornado risk? So that's actually, that's another thing I do want to go ahead and show you guys real quickly. Once again, thank you so much for the 5. Very, very sweet of you. Greatly appreciated. So for the tornado probability, so we have this little area here. It's for the eastern side of the storm here. So, for in meteorology, only tornadoes can happen on the eastern side of hurricanes because that's where all the ingredients are at. Instability as well as the strongest wind shear. That right there is what contributes to tornado formation. So yes, tornadoes can spawn out of hurricanes and tropical cyclones. According to the the Storm Prediction Center, we do have ourselves a 2% chance for tornadoes. Not a big chance overall, but it is a chance for maybe a couple spin-up tornadoes being possible throughout southeastern California into actually southwestern portions of Arizona even. So that, like I said, that area right there in the green, right there, that circle area right there, that's the tornado probability here. Once again, for extreme western Arizona into southeastern or further, far southern portions of California there. So, a couple tornadoes can't be ruled out. That's also something we're going to need to look out there for overall. Absolutely. But once again, Alaska, thank you so much for the 5. Very, very sweet of you. Greatly appreciated. And like I said, we'll just have to keep an eye out there for that. It's probably going to change as the track, gets confirmed exactly where it's at. But it seems like the models have been doing pretty daggone good at keeping a pretty solid track here. Like I said, there's been a slight trend to the east here we've seen, but it seems like the, it really does seem like the, the overall track is pretty good. It's pretty good, and it's not expected to. It's not changing drastically like some of these other hurricanes we can see that are pretty unpredictable. This one's actually a pretty predictable track that we are looking at for this guy. Anyways, but like I said, you guys, overall we got ourselves a lot of potential issues with this storm here. Once again, my main concern here, guys, is rainfall. Obviously, you guys probably know this by now. Rainfall is going to be like the main concern out of the storm here. Once again, another myth that people are thinking, this is not going to be a hurricane over Southern California. It's not supposed to be a hurricane over California. At most, as of right now, it's supposed to be a strong tropical storm here with wind speeds up to 60, or wind speeds at 60 with wind gusts up to 70 being possible. That right there is what we need to be looking out there for. Let's see, Bomb Hill says, thank God I don't live on that side. Yeah. Now, it's going to get pretty brutal out there, and like I said, I think in some cases, San Diego and Los Angeles are actually pretty lucky, considering that the center of the storm, the more of the precipitation is actually forecasted to be east of those areas. Los Angeles, San Diego is actually not expected to get as much rainfall as areas are slightly more to the east towards Palm Desert, Palm Springs area, Julian, Victorville. Those regions are kind of in that big flooding threat here, the biggest threat for flooding overall out of the system. Meanwhile, Los Angeles and San Diego, don't get me wrong, y'all are still in a pretty solid flooding threat here overall. But whenever it comes to it here, like I said, we're literally talking ourselves a pretty big threat there still for flooding. Like I said, essentially a level 3 out of 4 on the spectrum here for flooding. And that's another thing I do want to go and show you guys here. We do actually have ourselves, like I said, if you guys are not unaware, we do have ourselves tropical storm warnings now in effect. They actually issued those last night on our last update we did. So tropical storm warnings are in effect for portions, obviously, of extreme Southern California, which is kind of expected. Come on, we were expecting tropical storm conditions, so winds for tropical storms, winds up to tropical storm conditions is expected and all that stuff out there. So, yeah, just watch out for tropical storm conditions being likely at this point. Let's see here. Which one more important for the hurricane? Let's see. Water, temperature, or CAPE? So CAPE is a way of measuring instability in the atmosphere, basically energy, convective available potential energy, and water temperature is contributed to that as well, essentially in indirect ways. So basically, yes. So water temperature is very important. Both of them are very important, regardless. So CAPE is the potential energy, the way of measuring that, and the water temperature is obviously what's needed to contribute to higher values, essentially. But anyways. But yeah, so once again, everybody, we just need to be looking out for this here. If you guys are wanting to know the current information on it, it is still a Category 3 hurricane. Like I said, it is currently still sustained here of 115 miles an hour. It did get weakened since yesterday. Yesterday's update was a Cat 4. Now it's down to a Cat 3. Later today, in this evening, it's supposed to go down to a Category 2 hurricane. Right now, like I said, constant winds are at 115, with maximum wind gusts getting up to 155. So we're still talking some serious wind gusts here being possible out there. Once again, later on this evening, Category 2 with sustained winds expected to be right around 105, maximum gusts up to 125 overall. So that's something to look out for. And of course, downgrade to a Category 1 by tomorrow morning for Sunday, with sustained of 80. Maximum gusts up to 100 as it approaches right through central Baja, California, right there for that peninsula. So yeah, overall, that is what we are seeing. And if we'll obviously continue tracking up north, and once it reaches Southern California, it will be a 60-mile-per-hour tropical storm. Still a pretty solid storm. 60-mile-an-hour sustained wind tropical storm here with gusts up to 70. That's still a pretty strong storm out there. So it is going to be getting gusty out there for portions, obviously, like, San Diego. We could see some of those wind gusts up to 70, so that's something to really be looking out there for. Let's see, Richard says, in San Diego, 2 to 3 inches of rain is enough to damage infrastructure. That wouldn't even register in Houston. Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, they are expected to see here about 2 to 4 inches here. Here's the latest outlook, y'all. If you're just now joining in, obviously, welcome, everybody. Hope y'all are being safe out there and staying safe. Like I said, obviously, guys, make sure that you guys are preparing for this event, too. Obviously, make sure you have yourself some water. Grab yourself a couple cases of water out there. As well as, some food to hold you over for, a little bit. Obviously, we got to be looking out there for that. Like I said, we are talking 4 to 6 inches across the areas here in the yellow. Like I said, obviously, that's a lot of rainfall. It's a lot of rainfall for portions of California into South Nevada. It's going to be pretty strong out there. And you can actually see some localized areas here. Not so many of them, but there's a few localized areas here that could actually see these rain totals get up to around 6 to 10 inches. So regardless, we are expecting the potential for a lot of rain out there as well. So we'll just definitely have to keep an eye out there for it overall. What's up, Leon? Hope you're doing good. Glad to have you here. But anyways, like I said, guys, we just got to keep on watching this here overall. I'm going to go ahead and switch you guys over here to the models, actually. I want to go ahead and show you guys the waves, the latest waves from the European model. Once again, take this with a grain of salt. Don't take this to be exact, because like I said, models are not perfect per se, but I just want to go ahead and show you guys how crazy this, how potentially crazy these waves could be out there. Is actually pretty ridiculous. But we're gonna go ahead and switch y'all over here to that right now. So here's the European model regarding the the waves. So you can actually see as the center of the storm approaches central Baja California, the waves according to this model could be up to around 77 feet, according to the model. Now, once again, take this with a grain of salt. But nearly 70-foot waves is possible for basically central Baja California. And those waves will obviously increase as well once they approach the northern Gulf? Yeah, the northern Gulf of California. Once it gets to the northern Gulf here, it's going to cause a lot of big waves out there, as well as a bunch of winds is going to be rushing its way inland, which obviously that is going to be a little bit concerning in itself. Now, regarding waves for obviously California's coast per se, they could still get pretty high. Trust me, they could definitely still get pretty high out there. I mean, you can actually see here that some of these waves, could be in the zone of over 10 feet across some of those areas nearby. Still definitely gonna be some pretty big waves out there. Don't get me wrong, but nothing whenever you compare it to like the wave height potentially out there towards central Baja California out of the storm here. I mean, it's gonna be pretty brutal, according to the European model. Once again, maybe up to 70 feet. Could be possible. It's crazy. Really, really crazy. This model is not playing around whenever it comes to the possibilities of those wave heights here, essentially. So that is, definitely a little bit concerning per se. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and hop y'all over here back to the National Hurricane Center's outlook. Like I said, here's the latest cone that we have going on right now. Let's see here. Whoa, wait, what? Currently 5 areas in the Atlantic Basin. What? There's 5 now? Oh my gosh, everybody. All right, we got a breaking update for everybody. Holy cow. Okay. So not just the Pacific, but now the Atlantic has 5 areas we're watching of possible tropical development. A new one's here. Another tropical waves coming off the west coast of Africa. This one has a 70% chance, 50% chance, 60 overall, and 50. Watching a low track from the Bahamas into the Gulf of Mexico. Don't expect too much out of that right now, but wow, that's a big update. Obviously, we got ourselves Hilary in another area of disturbance out there. Pretty low probability. Overall, anyways, that's that. But that's crazy. We now have 5 areas of possible tropical development out there in the Atlantic we need to be looking out for as well. So not just the Pacific, but also the Atlantic is on fire too regarding tropical activity. It's definitely safe to say that the tropics have heated up now. That's for sure. But yeah, once again, everybody, we're already starting to see those tropical storm force winds. You can see that yellow area. That's the wind field. So that's where tropical storm force winds are at right now. The tropical storm force winds are already into southern Baja California. You can see across the blue, those are tropical storm warnings. The areas in red, those are hurricane warnings. That's where hurricane conditions are expected. The blue is where tropical storm conditions are expected. We got ourselves some tropical storm watches, a little bit more further down south here. And you can actually see there's a hurricane watch in effect for these areas up here. Extreme northern Baja California Peninsula here. The extreme northern side there. So, got to watch out for possible hurricane conditions out there as well. But overall, the expected hurricane conditions is supposed to be right here across central Baja California. Hurricane warnings are in place for those regions there. So make sure if you live out there, if you know anybody who lives out there, make sure to give them, give them heads up. Let them know. Because like I said, it's definitely going to be something we need to be watching out for very, very closely overall. Monaco says, yep, the water in the Atlantic is like a bathtub. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. The temperatures in the Gulf have gotten up to like 90 degrees, so it's literally like a hot tub out there. It's crazy. Really, really crazy. Anyways, like I said, guys, if you're just now joining us, we do have a new update here on the flooding threat overall. Like I said, we have ourselves a pretty big risk for flooding across a lot of Southern California. Here we have ourselves that level 4 out of 4 threat, the high risk for flooding. Has been connected. As you remember, yesterday was a little area over Death Valley and a bigger blob south of Death Valley for portions here of Southern California. They've connected those now. So obviously, whenever it comes to flooding here, we have a really big shot. Most of the heaviest flooding will, still possibly be for San Diego and Los Angeles, but most of the heaviest will likely be east of those regions there. Once again, for the regions that are out there, this would include areas, like Moreno Valley, Riverside, Palm Springs, Palm Desert. So those regions out there, also like Barstow, let's see, Fort Irwin, Baker. Let's see here. Obviously, Death Valley, as we mentioned here. Those regions are going to be the most prone for flooding here out of this overall event here. So we got to really be looking out for those areas. Don't get me wrong. Los Angeles and San Diego still has a really good shot for flooding, and we're still in that moderate risk for flooding, which is a level 3 out of 4. Really, really big threat for flooding overall. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. See, we had 4 tornadoes here in Rhode Island. Never happens in the water. There's plenty more for superstorm hurricanes. Yeah. Crazy. I did see those. We had ourselves a couple tornadoes out there in Rhode Island. Also, Massachusetts got a couple too. Yep. Definitely is pretty crazy. But like I said, guys, the biggest impacts is expected to happen here from basically late Sunday. So we're talking late Sunday into early Monday. So like I said, we're going to be live here for late Sunday into early Monday here for you guys to give you all updates on the system. Once again, the heaviest impacts will be felt here for basically late Sunday. So late Sunday is where the biggest impacts are going to be felt out there. So watch out there for that, regarding those biggest updates overall. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye out there for them, for sure. And like I said, once again, this thing is expected to make landfall, or go right over Southern California, I should say, as a middle-level tropical storm. Once again, that's the kind of misconception people have right now, is that it's not going to be a hurricane upon landfall in California. Baja California, yes. But landfall across Southern California, the U.S. state California, no, it's not going to be a hurricane over there. However, it still is a powerful storm. Don't get me wrong. Still a lot of moisture associated with it. We're still talking, sustained winds here, constant winds at 60 miles per hour possible, as well as maximum gusts here up to 70, being a possibility out there. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. Jonathan says, could there be tornadoes for this hurricane? Yes. On the eastern side of hurricanes and tropical cyclones, there's usually a tornado threat in which the Storm Prediction Center has put up a tag on it. You can see this little green area here that's been introduced now. Right there, that is a tornado threat, guys. So that remains east of San Diego, Los Angeles region. So there's a small tornado threat. We're not expecting any widespread tornadoes or anything like that as of right now. But a couple tornadoes can't be ruled out, essentially. That's why they have the lowest risk for tornadoes. It's possible. We possibly could see a couple as the system rolls its way inland. But overall, that is, something to keep an eye out there for. Let's see here. Sean says hi. What's up? Hope you're doing good. Like I said, y'all, please just be safe out there. And like I said, if there's anything we can do for y'all, please, like I said, feel free to let me know. Once again, we are going to be live here again tonight to do another update on the tropics here for you guys. Because like I said, I want to make sure you guys are getting the latest information. I want to make sure y'all are staying safe out there and all. It's obviously all what matters. It's just getting that word out there, making sure everybody is, being safe and everybody is weather aware. That's all that matters. That's all we really care about here, y'all. And like I said, whenever it comes to the possibilities for tropical storm force winds, like I said yesterday, those are going to increase, in which they are increasing right now across portions here of, Southern California. We do have those probabilities near San Diego kind of being right in the zone of around 40 to 50 miles per hour. So 40 to 50% chance. Sorry, I'm used to saying miles an hour. 40 to 50% chance of seeing tropical storm force probabilities out there towards San Diego. Seems to be possible out there. So the odds are increasing. You can say as the system gets a little bit more closer, it's going to continue. Let's see, what's up, Prepper? Saying hello, family. Hope y'all are well. Let's see here. Born and raised in California, 3 inches of rain. Part of that, Southern California, is massive, like 12 inches in Houston. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? So that's what I'm concerned about here, y'all. Like I said, y'all hardly get rain down there. Even if you introduce a small amount of rainfall, it's like crazy. It can lead to some big flooding. And so obviously, with this hurricane, with this tropical system that's going to be rolling its way up through portions here of California, once again, it's supposed to be a tropical storm. But as it rolls its way up through Southern California into portions of central Southern Nevada, we are expecting a lot of rainfall, essentially. Once again, we are expecting at least 2 to 4 inches of rainfall across these regions here. So right across, obviously central Southern Nevada, right there throughout, like Los Angeles, San Diego area, Southern California. We are expecting at least 2 to 4 inches across those regions here. Then once we work our way into these yellow areas here, like right in this region, it possibly could be up to 4 to 6, in some areas. And even, like I said, possibly even locally, you can see a little bit of orange popping up here every here and there, showing around 6 to 10 inches being a possibility out there. So regardless, we are seeing very, very heavy amounts of rainfall, and especially for those valleys and those depressions that are in the ground. The water is going to fill up higher in those areas. It's going to be a lot higher than, obviously, maybe even 6 to 10 inches. For those depressions, it could be a lot higher. So definitely, if you see any water and you can't see the bottom of it, do not go through it. Because, like I said, you don't know how deep this water is going to be. It's going to be pretty deep in some areas here. So just be watching out for this here closely. And like I said, whenever it comes to like the models here, once again, back over here towards the the GFS model and the European model, the American GFS model has, like I said, the system here, really big streak, as you can see. Really, really big streak going straight through Southern California into central and southern Nevada. That's where the heaviest amount of rains is going to be expected. We're expecting a lot of rain across these regions here. Once again, at least 2 to 4 inches is expected. Let's see here. Ebony says, I'm in San Diego, and you aren't wrong, all alone prepper. I think very few are actually preparing. I hate to say that. I really do hate to see that, too, because like I said, this is a storm of the decade. This is definitely going to be a storm of the decade for California. This is not going to be, this is not just your average system that rolls through. This is serious, guys. A lot of people got to take this thing seriously, because like I said, there's going to be so much flooding out of this here. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. The astronomical amount of rainfall we're probably going to be seeing out of this here in some areas. So, like I said, I cannot stress it enough, you guys. Please prepare for this. Please, please, please prepare for this. Robin says, went shopping yesterday, ready to hunker down for a few days. That's good, Robin. I'm glad to see that you went shopping. Like I said, I recommend you guys getting some water, get some cases of water. Make sure you get that. Maybe fill up your car gas. Maybe fill up that gas tank in your car. Obviously have some food, some snacks to be able to last you a while. And first aid kit, maybe flashlights, weather radios. Like Like I said, that's essentially what we need to have in our ready-to-go kit for the tropics. So like I said, just gotta have all those essential items ready to go, okay? Like I said, I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm not trying any of that. If anything, I'm trying to help you guys out here. Like I said, I'm just trying to let you guys know what's possible here. And like I said, obviously, I want you guys to be prepared. I want you guys to be safe out there. So like I said, if there's anything we can do for you, please don't hesitate to let us know. Once again, we have a Discord. If you guys have any questions after the stream, regarding the tropics, we have a Discord. You guys can join our Discord down in the description overall. And, essentially, I will, like I said, I will, reply to you guys on our Discord. Because like I said, I really care about y'all. I want you guys to be safe out there. I really do. Matthew says, greetings from Henderson, Nevada, southern outskirts of Vegas. What's up, Matthew? Hope you're doing good. Glad to have you here, Matthew. Like I said, you are expecting to see quite a bit of rainfall out there as well. Right there, Las Vegas is actually in the zone between 1 and 2 and 2 to 4. It could be, I'm expecting maybe around 1 to 3 inches being possible. I mean, seriously, that seems like a good possibility. That's still a lot of rainfall for California. That's still and Nevada overall. This is for Nevada, but that's still a lot of rainfall between California and Nevada here, which is, pretty crazy. We just got a special tropical outlook here issued by the Hurricane Center. This is in the eastern. Whoa. Short-lived tropical depression possible in the eastern Atlantic here today. Okay. Anyways, but we'll definitely have to watch out for that later on. But it's not as big of a concern as this. Once again, here, y'all, here's the wind history of this storm here. So you guys can actually see here. So the yellow, that's where the tropical storm force winds have been out of the system. The red is where hurricane force winds have been. And you can actually see those tropical storm force winds are already starting to impact southern Baja California here. For the southern tail of the peninsula, they're already starting to see those tropical storm force winds here. Hurricane force winds are going to continue working their way up here to the north. They're going to go right over the central side. We have a boatload of hurricane warnings for those regions, which is needed because this thing is starting to steer its way towards Baja California here, in which it's going to continue pushing its way up here to the north. So got to be looking out for that here overall. Got to be watching this here. Once again, here's the probabilities as of right now, pretty much for almost the entire western corridor of the Baja Peninsula here. We have ourselves, like I said, at least a 90% chance of tropical storm force conditions. There's a good chance that the entire peninsula could see tropical storm force conditions here. Like I said, the wind field of this thing, the amount of winds, the tropical storm force winds is massive. Huge area of where tropical storm force winds is with the storm here. It's pretty crazy. It is actually pretty crazy. So overall, definitely have got to be looking out there for this here overall. And once again, the most amount of rainfall we're expecting here is 6 to 10 inches for most areas here across the orange. Like I said, a couple localized areas could see up to 6 to 10. But the majority of Southern California, the majority here of Nevada is in the range of 2 to 4. That's a lot. That's a lot of rainfall. And like I said, a lot of more of an intense region. We have these yellow areas here of 4 to 6 being possible out there. You'll see sandbags out here, but from what I've seen, there's no other preparations being made overall. I think most people believe it won't be more than a couple inches of rain, if that. Like I said, a lot of people, like I said, I hate to say it, but a lot of people just aren't taking this stuff seriously. I mean, it needs to be taken very seriously because, this system here is not something to mess with. I mean, this is a powerful system here. I mean, like I said, it's not going to be like hurricane conditions. I mean, obviously, we're not expecting like hurricane force winds or anything like that across California. I mean, we're still going to be seeing some very strong winds out of this. Trust me. We are going to be seeing some very, very strong winds overall. But we're not going to be seeing, obviously, hurricane force winds. But the main thing is, it's not the winds that I'm really concerned about. It's the flooding. Like I said, the flooding is where it's bad. That's where I am concerned. That's where I'm genuinely concerned for everybody here. Is the flooding. The amount of water that's going to be falling from the sky. The amount of rainfall is just crazy. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the, see that view right there. Anyways, the tornado outlook there. Yeah, like I said, a couple tornadoes can't be ruled out either for Southern California and even extreme Western Arizona. I mean, the Storm Prediction Center actually does have, like I said, the Storm Prediction Center actually does have a 2% chance for, tornadoes occurring in the western portion of Arizona. Yeah. Hey, Andrew, there's five new tropical developments areas in the Atlantic. Yeah, we just talked about that here a little bit ago. I guess you weren't here, but yeah, we talked about that whenever it came out. But anyways, What can we expect in Yuma, Arizona? Let's go ahead and see here. In Yuma, Arizona, right now, actually, you're in that level 2 flooding threat. Like I said, level 2 out of 4. There's a shot, basically a 15% chance that you could see some flooding within 25 miles of your location. But overall, like I said, you're not in the heaviest, which is good. Well, you're not in the heaviest of it, but you still are looking to see a decent amount of rainfall out of this here, and definitely should be watching out for this here. Let's see here. But that is, that's overall that. Our media overhyped the storms a lot, ended up nothing big at all, so that's why we might not take it seriously. That's very true. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of these media sources, they take things a little bit too far. Because like I said, I've seen a lot of media sources say that it's going to be a hurricane in Southern California when it's not. It's supposed to be a tropical storm in California. I mean, like I said, right now the projection is the center of the storm will be over Southern California right around 8 p.m. Eastern time for essentially tomorrow, for Sunday. And like I said, at that point, maximum winds are going to be, or maximum wind gusts up to 70, with sustained winds, constant winds being around 60 miles an hour, which, that is what we need to be looking out there for. And like I said, still, tropical storm force winds can still be impactful. I mean, like I said, I do expect some, some potential damage from wind damage to occur. I mean, it's possible. It definitely will likely happen across Southern California. But like I said, the rainfall risk definitely outweighs the wind risk overall. That is what we're looking at. Let's see, what's the impact I can see in Taft, California. Let's see here, is it Taft or Taft? Sorry. Let's see here, Taft, California. Yeah, you're in a slight risk as well. So most of the impacts is going to be east of you, but you're still expected to see maybe a little bit of flooding. I mean, it can't be ruled out. Giving you at least a 15% chance there of flooding, within 25 miles of your location. It's possible. It's definitely possible. Let's see here. But overall, that's that. Zoom in on 29 Palms. Let's see here. Let's see here. I don't know if I can... here we go. 29 Palms. Oh, okay, there you go. It's actually spelled out, 29. So yeah, you're actually in the biggest risk out there, my friend. Whenever it comes to it, obviously 29 Palms is inside the high risk for flooding, giving you at least a 70% chance of seeing flooding occurring within 25 miles of you. So you would likely see some flooding, especially if you're in a low-lying area out there. Seriously, watch out closely for this event here, and seek higher ground if you possibly can. You still got a few days, or you still got a little bit to prepare, not really a few days, but you still got a day to prepare for this storm here. Because like I said, it's going to happen it's going to really start to feel it tomorrow night, or tomorrow evening. Well, for you guys, probably like tomorrow afternoon, evening. So we're going to have to be looking out there for that overall. Also, maybe a small chance for a couple spin-up tornadoes too. On the eastern side of these tropical cyclones, they have something we call cyclone-induced tornadoes. Seems to be possible. A couple spin-up tornadoes cannot be ruled out there as well. Let's see, what about Carson City, Nevada? Let's see here. Carson City, Nevada is inside. Not too crazy. The main threat is east of them. Carson City's on a level 2 flood threat out of 4. But barely. The odds of them seeing flooding is, there, but it's fairly low. But yeah, so that is essentially what we are seeing here. Let's go ahead and see. We got a $2 super chat coming in from, let's see here, from Wilfred, Caladeron. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Very, very sweet of you. Thank you so much. Very, very nice. Greatly appreciated. Big shout out goes to you, Wilfred. Thank you so much. Very sweet of you. But yeah, like I said, they actually have this system being a post-tropical cyclone here, post-tropical storm, Hilary here. So maximum winds here, wind gusts up to 45 with sustained, constant winds, maybe around 35. So we're still seeing the possibility for some tropical storm force wind gusts out there towards Nevada. It is for sure something to definitely keep an out there for as well. Obviously, it's not going to be as crazy as the winds will be, obviously, in Southern California. Southern California is going to get the, the heaviest out there. I think San Diego could be getting, a lot of pretty nasty gusts. I mean, like I said, we'll definitely make sure to keep y'all informed. Once again, I'll be live giving y'all readings on the storm as we, roll through this here. But that is, that's that. Monica says, you will be busy with hurricane weather this season, guys. Really busy. Let's see here. Water temps, air temps, wind size, direction. You need more $2 coffee, says Monica. All right, thank you so much, Monica. It's very sweet of you. Thank you for supporting us as well. It's very, very sweet. But anyways, but like I said, guys, if y'all want to know what I read about it right now, like I said, this thing right now is a, like I said, we're going to go actually switch over here to the, I'm going to move this up a little bit here, guys. Gonna move up. There you go. There's satellite views on the storm right now. But like I said, right now it is still a Category 3 hurricane with sustained winds here of 115 miles per hour. So constant winds of 115 miles an hour is ongoing right now, with maximum wind gusts here up to 155. Wind gusts up to 155 is very nasty. Catastrophic winds out there. But luckily, we're not expecting that amount of wind gusts to be impacting the coasts here. As this thing gets a little bit closer, it's going to be, obviously weakening because it's moving in the cooler waters, as well as it's getting close to land. So it's going to start, waning down on that intensity, which is good. Like I said, by Sunday morning or tomorrow morning, right around 8 a.m. Eastern, we are expecting these wind speeds to be right around 80 sustained, with gusts up to 100. So overall, that is what we are talking about, overall for this here. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll definitely keep an eye on it. Let's see here. Monica with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Monica. Greatly appreciated. Very, very sweet of you guys. Thank you all so much for the support. We love you guys. Greatly appreciated. Let's see here. They haven't had something like this in 87 years. It's been a long time. It has been a long, long time. That's for sure. Like I said, a lot of the people who live in California are not used to this type of weather. Not used to it. Let's see here. Thank you. Does this leave a door open for more storms to come in the future? Good question. As of right now, there's no evidence to support any more storms like this coming up there in the near future. Obviously, if there is, we'll let you know. But no, like I said, this is almost a once in a lifetime event here that happens up in California. Like I said, this is pretty rare. I don't think we'll see anything more like this year again. Yeah, like I said, y'all don't realize how exponentially rare this event is. I mean, it's like they never, ever get tropical cyclones down here. I mean, sometimes, obviously, like Western Mexico gets them. Sometimes they can steer, come out from, the Eastern Pacific, and sometimes they can steer into Mexico. But have them going up and riding all the way up till it hits California, that's pretty rare. That's very rare. But yeah. What can we expect out here in Chatsworth, California? Let's go ahead and see here. Chatsworth, California here. Okay, so yeah, you are kind of in the, that moderate flooding threat here. So you have a level 3 out of 4 whenever it comes to flooding. Flooding is a good possibility. At least a 40% chance of seeing flooding within 25 miles of your location. That's what that risk means, essentially, overall. And like I said, the storm's going to remain to your east. There's no threat for tornadoes for you. And whenever it comes to the rainfall, here's the latest rainfall totals. We're expecting right around 2 to 4 inches of rain being possible. Right around 2 to 4 being expected. Like I said, you can see, these regions here is where you got to really look out for flooding. Right in those regions there. So like I said, even central and southern Nevada is in a really good threat for flooding. Got to look out for it. Same thing for southern California too. I mean, like I said, across the yellow, and we're talking 4 to 6 inches, y'all. 4 to 6 inches of rainfall being possible out there. Like I said, that's pretty crazy. 4 to 6 inches, and obviously we have some localized spots a little higher, up to 6 to 10 in those orange areas. So that's where locally we could see some rainfall amounts. I mean, slightly just shy of a foot being theoretically possible. It's kind of crazy. There's that flooding threat I was talking to you guys about. So into Sunday morning, you can see it's a moderate threat for Southern California here. The biggest of it is going to be happening for Monday morning. The most amount of rain is going to be happening from basically Monday morning into Monday afternoon and evening. That's where the most amount of rainfall is going to be coming from. Let's see here. But yeah, that's that. Let's see. What about let's see. If you guys could do zip codes in California, that would be a lot easier. I have to here we go. I don't even know how you say this area. Tecapi. But yeah, you're in a moderate threat for flooding. You got a really good shot for some flooding potential. Like I said, at least a 40% chance within 25 miles of you. Like I said, they have you under that region of possibly 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. So be on the lookout for that. Self-Care says, when is this supposed to hit? This is supposed to happen here for late Sunday, so late tomorrow into early Monday. I'm going to be live tomorrow to cover this, obviously. I'll probably do 2 live streams tomorrow. I'll do one. I'm going to do another one tonight around midnight, actually. Another update around midnight. Then tomorrow, early afternoon, I'll do another one. And then, of course, I'll do coverage after that, essentially. Let's see here. Cries, once we take a look here at 93312. All right, let's see here. 93312 across Bakersfield. So you have a level 2 flooding threat. You got to keep an eye out there for it. At least a 15% chance of flooding within 25 miles of you. Let's see here. LMZ wants to take a look here at 92049. 92049. This is for portions of Oceanside. Yeah, Oceanside is actually in a pretty good flooding threat out there. Definitely got to keep an eye out there for it overall. So Oceanside has, like I said, at least a 70% chance of, at least a 40% chance, of flooding occurring out there. Once again, we're expecting around the range of 2 to 4 inches being possible in those regions. So definitely watch out for it. 93010. 93010 for California here. Let's see. You, my friend, are in the level 2, right next to the level 3 flooding threat there. Still, for you, we're kind of expecting here maybe a little bit less than, a little bit, well, actually, no, you're close. You're right around the 1 to 2 to 2 to 4 inch zone. So, 1 to 3 inches is a good possibility. Just taking that middle point, 1 to 3 inches seems to be a good, a good zone to look out for. Let's see here. Oh my goodness, I got a lot of zip codes coming in now. All right, we're not going to do too many of these guys. We're going to do a couple of them every once in a while, but I'm not going to be doing too many of them. So for Desert Hot Springs here, we are talking the highest flooding threat. This is actually one of the areas that we got to be really, really careful for. So this is for Desert Hot Springs. We are talking like I said, a level 4 out of 4 flooding threat, giving you at least a 70% chance of flooding occurring within 25 miles of your location. So really have got to be looking out for this here overall. Like I said, we got to be safe out there. You got to be careful out there. Like I said, there's a possibility for maybe an isolated tornado or two. Depends on the track. If the center of the storm goes to your east ever so slightly, you should be fine. It's only for the eastern side of the tropical cyclone that tornadoes are likely, because like I said, that's where the thermodynamics are. That's when the winds are. All that. The wind shear is at the strongest. So overall, that's that. But yeah, so keeping out there for it. The winds could be pretty gusty too. Once again, this thing is expected to be a tropical storm, kind of a mid-range tropical storm right through Southern California here, with sustained winds up to 60 miles an hour, with wind gusts here up to 70 being a possibility overall. So definitely got to keep an eye on it. Let's see here. Robin 92557. Let's see, 92557 across California. Same thing for you, my friend. Yeah, you're in the high flooding threat. Definitely got to keep an eye out there for that region. It looks like you guys could definitely see some flooding. At least a 70% chance of flooding occurring within 25 miles of you. So if you're in a low-lying area, I'd recommend trying to get a little bit higher if you could, just for your own safety. But yeah, that's that. Let's see here. All right. Half fast once we take a look here at let's see, 93553 93553 across California. Same thing for you, my friend. We're talking ourselves a level 4 out of level 4 out of 4 flooding threat. It's a big really big flooding threat out there. At least a 70% chance of flooding occurring, especially if you're in a low-lying area. Got to keep an eye out there for it. We're expecting around 2 to essentially right around 2 to 4 inches of rainfall being possible. So let's see here. Next up, we have Young. Once we take a look here at 92570, right? See, 92570 for California. Same thing for you, my friend. In the high risk, got a pretty big threat out there. 2 to 4 inches is expected for your location, and obviously, at least a 70% chance of flooding within 25 miles of you is a good possibility. Absolutely. So yeah, LMZ. Once we take a look here at 92040. Let's see here, 92040. This will be like the last one. We'll do one more after this, guys, before we do the overall conditional update again. So I'll just take a couple zip codes here and there, okay? I'll take a couple zip codes here and there. But this guy right here towards Lakeside in California is under a moderate threat for flooding at level 3 out of 4 overall of flooding. Like I said, that's, regardless, level 3 out of 4, that's a pretty, pretty solid threat for flooding. At least a 40% chance of flooding occurring within 25 miles of you. Absolutely. But yeah. I'll do one more here for right now. Let's go ahead and see here. We got ourselves, see here, Peggy wants me to take a look here at 90717. 90717 for, let's see, Lomita here. Okay, so yeah, you're in that level 3 out of 4 flooding threat out there. You are in a pretty decent risk there for flooding. So keep an eye out there for it. Definitely be safe. Like I said, we'll make sure to cover your all's areas here. Once again, I'm going to be live for this entire event here to make sure y'all are staying safe out there. But yeah, you are in a level 3 out of 4 flooding threat, so I would definitely keep an eye out there for it overall. But But overall, yeah, that's that. He says, thank you. I really appreciate you. You're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. All right, we're going to hold off on the zip codes here for a little bit, y'all. Like I said, we can't spend the whole entire time doing those, unfortunately. I'd like to get everybody. I'd like to get to everybody, but like I said, the overall conditional update here, like I said, we are seeing, like I said, once again, at least 2 to 4 inches of rainfall being expected for these regions here. I mean, Las Vegas is kind of in that zone, and maybe 1 to 3 inches being possible. Like I said, we have a lot of yellow in there as well. You know, that's the region where 4 to 6 inches is possible, and a few little localized spots here, maybe even up to 6 to 10, you know, theoretically being possible. So 6 to 10 inches is, you know, a lot of rainfall. It's a heck of a lot of rainfall, especially for California. You know, they never see that amount of rainfall. It's crazy. It's really crazy. So overall, yeah, 6 to 10 inches is expected out of that storm there overall, and across the localized spots of the orange. It's unfortunately kind of possible. Like I said, considering that, you know, essentially east of Los Angeles, you know, in some of those populated areas there, that that outlook includes, you know, some pretty decent areas, you know, like Palm Desert, Palm Springs, maybe could see some localized up to that amount. Theoretically could occur. And like I said, guys, you know, the common misconception is, like I said, I say this over and over, because like I said, guys, seriously, with these systems, guys, or with this system in general, a lot of people think that it's going to be a hurricane as it rolls through Southern California. It's not going to be a hurricane as it rolls through Southern California, okay? It will be a hurricane as it goes through the Baja, California, not California State, but the, you know, I believe this is Mexican territory here. But as it rolls through, you know, Baja, California here, as it goes right up towards it, you know, it's supposed to be a Category 1 hurricane by basically tomorrow morning. But like I said, by tomorrow evening, it's going to be a tropical storm in Southern California. It's only going to be a tropical storm, but like I said, only is a strong word considering we're still going to be possibly seeing 60-mile-per-hour sustained winds with gusts up to 70 and some areas with extreme flooding, likely, which is pretty daggone crazy. You know, pretty daggone crazy. But yeah. Why does my weather app say less than 0.25? Because weather apps are terrible. They really are. They are terrible in general. I personally never trust weather apps because they seem to get things all the time wrong. They really do. I've had nothing but trouble with them, and plus, you know, once I started doing my own weather, I see things before the weather apps even pick up on it. It's like, yeah, no. Let's see here. Can you explain why and where there's a chance for tornadoes? So with these tropical cyclones, on the eastern side of them, you have stronger instability, you know, stronger energy in the energy. You got yourself stronger winds too, which can lead to, you know, tornadic formation, some, you know, spinning that can happen in the lower levels of the atmosphere. So that's why it's on the eastern side, because that's where all the ingredients are at for tornadoes. It's on the eastern side. Let's see here. Can I check at 97720? I can do that real quickly. 97720 for Oregon. Yeah, there's nothing too much going to go up there. You have a very light threat for flooding. Like I said, not concerned about your area at all, really. Maybe a little bit of rain, but nothing too crazy overall. What about Vegas? Vegas will be getting impacted pretty well. Like I said, we have a moderate threat for flooding out there, a level 3 out of 4. Whenever it comes to the flooding scale, which, like I said, gives you at least a 40% chance of flooding occurring within 25 miles of you. Yep. So that's the threat out there. At least, like I said, at least a you know, like I said, at least a 40% chance of flooding. Ace, we'll see 92262. I'll do this real quickly. 92262. For Palm Springs, California. Yeah, you got the biggest threat, my friend. You are, like I said, you are in that that big threat. So the high risk for flooding, level 4 out of 4 on the flooding scale. Really good shot for flooding. You know, like I said, we're talking essentially flooding occurring, you know, at least a 70% chance happening within 25 miles of you. I mean, it's definitely definitely is a possibility. But anyways, but once again, you guys, we are watching this here. Like I said, we are keeping an eye on it. Once again, this thing's going to be continuing to decrease in speed here. Like I said, right now, it's a Category 3 hurricane. It's going to be downgraded to a Cat 2 by this afternoon, by a Cat 1 tomorrow morning. Then as it approaches California here, in Southern California, it's expected to be a tropical storm right around the evening for tomorrow, with sustained winds of 60 miles per hour and max gusts up to 70 being possible as it continues pushing north. And as it does move its way up to the north, once it reaches central Nevada, it's going to be a post-tropical cyclone with still sustained winds possibly up to 35 miles per hour and maximum wind gusts here potentially up to 45. So we're still talking some pretty gusty conditions out there for sure. That we really need to be, really need to be looking out there for overall. So we'll definitely keep an eye on it. We will for sure keep an eye on it. Let's see here. Mandy wants me to take a look here at 91351. Let's see here. 91351. So you're here in Canyon Country. So yeah, you have a level 3 out of 4 flooding threat, giving you at least a 40% chance of flooding within 25 miles of you. So a perimeter within 25 miles of your location, there's at least, like I said, there's at least a 40% chance of flooding overall that we need to be looking out for. But overall, that is essentially what the the deal is, and everything. Thank you. That's essentially what the deal is of everything. So we need to be weather aware out there, and just watch out for flooding. Also, the winds could get a little bit gusty out there as well. So we'll need to look out for this here. My mom just dropped off a care package. But anyways, so definitely watch out for there, my friend. Gotta keep an eye on it. Regarding flooding. Now we're going to go ahead and hop you guys over here back to the models. I want to go ahead and show you guys the latest information regarding the models from the GFS, the American model, and the European ECMWF. I'm going to go ahead and hop you guys over to that right now. So this is the latest run. I'm going to make sure this is the latest run here. Yep, 12Z is the latest one we got here. So you can see that really big streak of rain running up through here. Got to keep an eye out there for this because, like I said, we are seeing a really good shot for some heavy rainfall being possible through Southern California, obviously central Southern Nevada. That right there in that region, that's where the heaviest amount of rainfall is going to be expected. We're talking a lot of localized high amounts of rainfall being expected. So we'll definitely need to be on alert here. We definitely need to be watching out for this here very, very, very closely. Like I said, this is the American GFS model, and whenever it comes to the, the European model out there, we are seeing ourselves, pretty similar agreement here. Actually, it seems like they've really kind of agreed with each other now. Things are looking a lot better according to between these two different models here. I mean, we're definitely seeing a lot more agreement here overall. So we need to be looking out for that. And another thing I wanted to go ahead and show you guys here. Once again, this was the model, the European model here. Apparently has these wave heights towards central Baja California, the peninsula here. Essentially has these wave heights here getting up to around 70 feet. Now, like I said, don't trust this to be precise, but it shows nearly 70-foot waves being possible. It shows 80-foot waves here later on, or for earlier this morning, apparently. But nearly 70-foot waves possible for central Baja California. That is like crazy rough seas. So obviously you have enough time to get out of those areas here. I mean, like I said, right now the waves are definitely picking up. I mean, we're likely seeing some big swelling ongoing right now throughout southern Baja California. I mean, like I said, they're already currently seeing, or they are currently seeing themselves, already a lot of nasty stuff going on there. Regarding tropical storm force winds, are already getting those, as well as, like I said, the surging is already starting to occur there overall. But like I said, here's the model. This is the HWRF model. Obviously, we continue to work our way down in time. So there is that island I was talking about here. This thing's going to scrape. This is central Baja California Peninsula. We continue to work our way down in time. This thing is going to be pretty strong still as it approaches California. Now, this model has it kind of keeping on the coast there. You can kind of see that. Which leads to a lot of heavy rain. So this is California. This is Southern California right here, which San Diego's right there. That's San Diego. And this is Los Angeles right over in this region here. So you can actually see how it has a lot of heavy rain continuing through those areas here, then rolling its way up into portions of, western Nevada. As you can see, a lot of rainfall kicking off out there as well. And then continuing up into Idaho, as you can see. I mean, some of this remains of the rain here could definitely reach its way up all the way to Canada. All the way up to Canada. We're talking could be a possibility. So, got to seriously be watching out for this here, really, really closely. See, waves go up to 80 feet. That's nuts. It is crazy. Like I said, I don't know how much to trust the ECMWF model on that, but apparently, according to the model, it seems like that's a possibility. I mean, I understand that seas can definitely get rough, but shoot, I did not expect it to be up in that territory. But that's pretty crazy. Got a lot of tropical storm warnings in effect here, as you guys can see. Yeah, that's a thing for Southern California, Los Angeles, San Diego. You guys are now under tropical storm warnings here. You guys are under tropical storm warnings, meaning that we are expecting tropical storm conditions to occur, essentially. Marvin says bye, NW16. See you later. Yeah, guys, we're going to be heading off here in a little bit. Like I said, if you've not already, guys, please consider subscribing. I just realized we're almost at 15,700 subscribers. We're so close. I think we can reach today. So if you guys are not already, please consider subscribing. It'd be greatly appreciated. like I said, I'm just here to make sure you guys are staying safe and that you guys are preparing for this event here, because like I said, this is going to be one heck of an event here, and we're definitely going to need to be keeping an eye out there for that. Definitely going to need to keep an eye out there for this event here in general, because like I said, could get pretty nasty. Once again, we are expecting those winds near San Diego to potentially get up to, like I said, maximum 70 miles an hour seems to be possible, as well as, like I said, sustained winds, constant winds, maybe around 60 miles per hour or so, according to the Hurricane Center. This is the latest cone that they have out here overall. So we'll keep you guys informed on this here. Like I said, once again, I'm going to do another update tonight at midnight to give you guys some more information on this system here, obviously, for later on today. So I'll keep you guys posted. I'll make sure to keep you all weather aware out there, and to make sure that you guys are being prepared. That's all that matters, is that you guys are remaining ready out there. Once again, here's the latest precipitation outlook here. Once again, these areas in the dark green is expecting to potentially see 2 to 4 inches of rainfall being possible. Got to really be looking out there for that. Across the yellow, we're talking at least maybe up to 4 to 6 inches. So the yellow is where things start to get a little bit nuts. Okay. Definitely got to watch out for that. And of course, whenever it comes to the orange, we are talking around 6 to 10 inches, of rainfall being possible. Some localized areas here in the orange could theoretically get up to, 6 to 10 inches being possible. So let's go ahead and keep an eye out there for that. For the next little bit, I'll keep you guys updated. Like I said, we'll post that new flooding risk out there, the new precipitation outlook here in a little bit. But we'll have to watch out for it. Let's see here. Hey, bro, let's see here. Let's see. Green 4, blue shaded green 4? Wait, what? Wait a minute. Was that on this view here? Are you talking about this stuff right here? This is radar. This is the current radar. I'm going to go and move this over here. Yeah, I think that's probably what you're talking about. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and move you all back over here. So once again, the biggest flooding threat, you can see they actually issued a high risk here overall. Like I said, we actually have ourselves a high risk for flooding. Like I said, literally cannot get any more higher. The high risk is the highest risk they can actually issue whenever it comes to, flooding out there. So at least a 70% chance possible of flooding occurring, throughout southern portions of California. Across the red, it's a moderate, at least a 40% chance out there as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. Let's see here. What about 9001? All right, let's go take a look at the zip code real quickly. 9001. Let's see here for Los Angeles. Okay, so yeah, you guys are in that moderate flooding threat, that level 3 out of 4. So you're just shy of the 5, or the level 4 out of 5 here, or level 4 out of 4. I'm used to convective outlooks. They go from a scale of 1 to 5. This is a scale from 1 to 4, and you're level 3 out of 4. So you have a pretty good shot overall of seeing flooding, at least a 40% chance of flooding within, like I said, essentially within 25 miles of your location, essentially. Let's see here. Let's see, Wendy with an E. It says, doing a great job. Thank you so much. Very, very sweet of you. I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm trying to be here for you guys. I'm trying to offer the public, a good source of weather information to come through. Like I said, this is, we're going to keep you all updated on this nasty situation out there. Once again, tomorrow, not tomorrow, later today, I should say, for tonight, for this, for midnight tonight Eastern time, which would be like, 9 o'clock Pacific. I'll do another update for you guys on the Tropics. Go live for a little bit longer, and just make sure y'all are being prepared. Let's see here. Mud and Rockets with another $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Very, very sweet. Saying, can 8901 see Nevada expect flooding or damaging winds area? 51 is located here. We'll see. What if the aliens escape? Maybe worse than... That's funny. So, let's see. 89001. 89001. So this is out here towards Nevada. So whenever it comes to the flooding, yeah, you have a good chance for flooding out there. Especially if you're in a low-lying area, it's a good possibility. So you're essentially in a zone where we have at least a 40% chance of flooding occurring within that 25-mile radius of you. Winds, they could gust up to, I'd say up to, maybe 40, 50 miles an hour. It's possible. We could get some gusty winds, not necessarily anything extremely damaging, but, some gusty winds that could cause some minor damage, could happen. Could theoretically happen. So we'll have to watch out for that for sure. Let's see here. Robin says, you're doing awesome. I don't think people realize how bad this might get. Well, first of all, thank you, Robin. And unfortunately, yeah, I agree with you. A lot of people don't understand the severity of this system here. Because like I said, it's going to hit hard. It's going to hit real hard. And a lot of people aren't going to be prepared for it because they're kind of ignoring it. I know there's probably some people that are ignoring this right now, which they probably shouldn't. I know they shouldn't. They're not taking it as seriously as they should. Like I said, just make sure that everybody is ready for this. Make sure that you guys are obviously, weather aware. Like I said, the main threat is not the winds, but the flooding. That's the main threat. Following by the winds is, another concern. But overall, the main problem, the main issue here is, like I said, the flooding, in which we definitely have got to be looking out for. Let's see, messages from above wants me to take a look here at 92708. Let's see here, 92708 across portions here of Fountain Valley. Yeah, we have ourselves a, like I said, a level 3 out of 4 whenever it comes to flooding. You got a pretty good shot for flooding out there. Obviously for the beach there, obviously there could be a little bit of surging, a little bit of, a little bit of higher waves whenever the storm is north of you. Because like I said, essentially these systems rotate counterclockwise. So say if the storm's right here, the winds are going this way, rather than, so they spin counterclockwise, so the winds are going away from you, could cause some rip current concerns because it's pulling you out to sea. And whenever it comes to the storm being like up here, you can see that the winds are going to be pulling up like this and coming down over here. So obviously that's going to create the waves that come right back at the coast, which could be, somewhat high because those winds are going to be, those winds are definitely going to be pretty strong and producing those, pushing those waves inland. So the wind pushes the water inland, essentially. So maybe some minor surging. I don't think it's going to be as bad out there for the coast for Southern California. It's going to be really bad for, regarding all that for these regions in here. This is where it's going to be really bad for like the storm surges and all that. Mostly across central Baja California and for the northern Gulf of California here. That's where the most of the impacts is going to be. Let's see here. Mindy says, I'm so glad I found your channel. Oh, well, thank you, Mindy. So thank you for joining. Thank you for subscribing. It's greatly appreciated. So we care about y'all. I just want to make sure everybody's staying safe out there. And like I said, you guys can help out too by sharing this. Like I said, if you guys share this live stream, help get the word out there. Like I said, obviously we can potentially help more lives, save more lives. That's obviously the goal of this channel is to help out as many people as absolutely possible. So obviously anything helps, guys. Seriously. So if you've not already, please consider subscribing, leaving a like. It'll be greatly appreciated, guys. Like I said, I don't ask for anything on this channel. I really do not ask for anything on this channel. But if you guys could, it would be greatly appreciated, and it will seriously help out push the live stream from YouTube to help out other people as well. So like I said, you guys can make a difference as well by subscribing and leaving, like I said, sharing this as well. It'd be greatly appreciated. Let's see here. Thanks for letting us know. You are very welcome. Like I said, you are very, very welcome. And like I said, we're going to be here for you guys to make sure you all are, remaining safe out there. And like I said, once again, we're doing another update. We're doing another update later on to this evening to make sure that you all are, remaining weather aware out there and making sure that you guys are seeing the new updates, because we're getting a new update later today. Whenever that new update comes out, I'll dive into everything like we did today and yesterday's update and all that. But anyways. Let's see here. But yeah, overall, like I said, y'all just please be safe out there. Once again, here's that precipitation outlook overall again. We're expecting the most amount of precipitation right in these regions here. Obviously for central, southern Nevada. A lot of, actually portions of east central California too. But mostly southern California is in that biggest risk overall here for, for flooding. Like I said, this is a region where at least 2 to 4 inches is possible. Like I said, obviously Las Vegas is kind of in that 1 to 2 inch zone, but considering not far from Vegas, it has a little bit higher precipitation. I would range around 1 to 3 inches being possible towards Las Vegas. Keep an eye on it. But, yeah, so it's going to be pretty soaked out there. And like I said, whenever it comes to, the yellow areas here, that's 4 to 6 inches of rainfall being possible, and the orange is 6 to 10 inches. So we're definitely talking ourselves a, a good amount of rain being possible out there. That is 100% sure. That is 100% sure. Let's see here. But yeah, we need to pray for those super yachts docked there. Yeah, that would not be good. Yeah, those yachts are not going to be, too happy. For the ones especially out there in, Baja California. The one for California, near San Diego, Los Angeles, those boats should not have too much troubles. I mean, honestly, they'll probably have some impacts, don't get me wrong, but at that point, the winds are going to start, slowing down a bit. The storm, once it gets up here, I mean, we could definitely get some pretty strong winds battering the coastline here. obviously of South California, which could lead to a lot of possible surges. I think that surges could be an issue for Southern California here, considering how strong the how strong the storm's still going to be, and we're still talking a potential here of like I said, sustained winds here of 60 miles per hour, as well as gusts getting up to around 70. Once again, I think that a lot of these right in these regions, a lot of this coastal area between San Diego and Los Angeles could see some surges. Definitely see some surges out there. So we'll just have to keep y'all advised, keep y'all updated, and all of that fun stuff here. But anyways, yeah, guys, so we're getting ready to head off here for, like I said, for now. Like I said, we're going to do another update, y'all, once again at 12 o'clock Pacific. Or sorry, not 12 Pacific, 12 o'clock Eastern, which is 9 Pacific. So obviously, if you guys, have any questions, make sure you join our Discord. We have that below. And if you guys could, please consider subscribing. Like I said, we're almost at 15,700. We're getting close. So like I said, if you guys could help us out, greatly appreciated. Once again, everybody, thank you for joining. I gotta give a big thank you to our donators here for today. For the stream here. Let me go ahead and do that real quickly before we head off here. But yeah, we're going to head off here in about 5 minutes, guys. So we'll cut it at an hour and 30 minutes. We've been live for an hour and 30 minutes. So we're going to cut it off here at the hour 30-minute mark. And then, like I said, later on tonight, we'll do another live stream for you guys to make sure y'all are, being weather aware out there. But once again, one quick little update, y'all. Once again, Southern California here, obviously in this pink region here, you guys can see. This is the high risk for flooding. That's where at least a 70% chance of flooding is possible. Across the red here, which goes all the way up into central Nevada, that's at least a 40% chance of flooding. Let's say across the yellow, it's at least a 15% chance of flooding. So obviously, you can see the colors mean something. So the pink is like the worst area here. So Southern California is going to get battered pretty heavily. And like I said, we have a lot of tropical storm warnings in effect for portions here of Southern California there. We do have ourselves a lot of those tropical storm warnings in effect. Obviously, those are in effect for a while. This says 214 minutes, but no, they're going to last here at least till tomorrow. Actually, at least till probably Monday morning. Probably still going to be in effect in Monday morning. So, but yeah, regardless, like I said, we got to watch out for that. Once again, for the misconception that people think it's not going to be a hurricane as it hits portions here of Southern California. It's going to be an upper, kind of a middle level tropical storm here with sustained winds of 60 miles per hour as of now, maximum wind gusts up to 70. This is right around 8 p.m. here for tomorrow. So right around 8 p.m. Eastern time for tomorrow. So this would be like right around 4 p.m. I'm pretty sure this is Eastern time. I want to double check on that later on. I'll make sure to double check on it before we go live again. But like I said, this is for tomorrow evening, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. So we'll need to, we'll definitely need to be looking out for this. Let's see here. We'll be back for the next updates. Well, thank you. So thank you. You're very welcome. And thank you as well. Watershed says, let's see, I'll be back for the update. Thanks. You're very welcome. You are very, very welcome. Like I said, guys, if y'all have any questions here, like I said, feel free to, join our Discord. We got everything out there as well. So if y'all have any questions, feel free to let me know. But anyways, all right, guys. Well, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Once again, y'all, if you've not already, consider subscribing, leaving a like. It'd be greatly appreciated. Got to give a big thank you to our donators for helping out the channel today. Like I said, all the funding really does help, with personal expenses, as well as all my programs. So unfortunately, these things are not cheap. So helps keep those programs up. So a big, big thank you to our donator here for Monica. We have Mud and Rockets. We have TT Aviation. We have Alaska FN. Wilfred. We have Monica again and Mud and Rockets again as well. Thank you so much. Also, Finn for becoming a Category 1 member. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. Like I said, guys, big thank you for everybody who support us. So thank everybody for being here. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. So once again, y'all, please, just be safe out there. Once again, we'll do another update later today at 12 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock a.m., I should say. So, like I said, we'll be live here again for you guys. Ragtide says your weather information is the best. Huge fan. Well, thank you so much, Ragtide. It's very, very sweet of you. I really appreciate it. But, all right, you guys, so y'all have a great rest of your night. Like I said, y'all have a wonderful rest of your day here. Be safe out there. Once again, make sure that y'all are preparing for it. I'd recommend going out right now if you have not already and grabbing some water, grabbing some food, flashlights, maybe a weather radio if you want to. Obviously, to stay alert with the local stations. I'll also be live for this event too as it occurs. So obviously, I'll keep y'all updated on that as well. But once again, everybody, thank y'all so much. Once again, big shout out goes to our donors. I'm gonna have to give a big shout out again to our donors real real quickly. Mud and Rockets, Alaska FN, Wilfred, let's see, TT Aviation, and Monica. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. If you guys would like to support us, we do have a Venmo too, at NWW116. If you guys do want to support us, help out with these programs and everything like that, it would be greatly appreciated. Like I said, obviously, y'all don't have to. I'm just saying, if you would like to support us that way, that is a possibility. All right, guys, thank you all so much for being here. We're going to go and head over here to the ending screen. The stream's going to head off here in approximately 2 minutes. So go ahead and say goodbye to your friends and family, whoever's in the chat that you might be having friends or you might be friends with. But all right, well, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Like I said, we'll catch you guys later on tonight. We love you guys. Please stay safe out there, and we will catch you guys later on. All right, y'all, be safe. See you then.